Hi, good morning. It is 7:09 a.m. Today is Saturday. November the 19th, right? If I'm not mistaken. The year 2022. Is it me or is the time moving so fast, right? The time is moving so fast. I mean, we're almost in December. Sometimes I get downloads and sometimes a lot of the content that I do get, I don't talk about it, because I have so much to share. But I guess I'll just have to wait until I get in a better environment. I spoke on this topic a while back, I think in one of the first episodes that I did on here for this category, because all my life growing up as a little girl, I've always looked at men. Not only did I look at them, I looked up to them. I wanted to be them. I grew up as a tomboy. You can say that girls that are tomboys, we kind of idolize the men in our life, and most of the times it's our brothers, our bigger brothers, and we just like being around boys. Usually girls like being around girls. Tomboys, we like being around boys because boys are, I don't know, they're cool, they're cool, they're fun. Not to say that girls aren't, but those mean girls, right? And they also, feminine, and they like to do their hair and nails, and they always like to look pretty and stuff like that. And with us tomboy, we can go with the boys, and we can get down and dirty, and we can go and we can play ball together, and we can just hang out and just be ourselves, With girls, it's always about being, primping and being pretty, and just don't want to break a nail, and they don't want to get too frazzled. So you know they're not going to be playing any sports, right? And so we tomboys, we just like, yeah, that's not for us. I think I'm gonna go with the guys and them. Thanks anyway. They don't like us anyway. The feminine, they do not. Be like, they be looking at us like we're from another planet. They'll be like, oh my God. So what are you gonna go and play basketball with the boys? Or are you gonna be so sweaty and you're gonna stink and but that's what we want. We want to play baseball with the boys. We want to, you understand, that we want to do that. Me personally, I've always looked up to men. I've always wanted to embody what men are. I think men are awesome. Yeah, I think you guys are awesome. And that's why I want to bring the topic today is about how society, the Western society, especially in America, have done men such a disservice. Now, what I'm about to talk about is a very controversial subject, and I think this is the era for it, This is the era that we have to start talking about difficult things, difficult subjects, and challenging subjects, and just subjects that people, as a society, tries to, refrain us from doing. I watched a YouTube video the other day. It was from I've been subscribed to her for a couple of years now, and it was taken out of Africa, Lynn Ngugi, and she had an African woman on there, and the title of it is How to Treat African Men. And I've always told, and I've told women, and I've told you men this: the key to life, from my perspective, is understanding the opposite sex. Once you understand the opposite sex, once you understand a woman, life on this earth, life on this planet, for you as a man, would be so much easier. Case in point. So, the guest goes on to talk about, and I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and get the name of the guest, and I'll put the captions in, but like I said, this is just spontaneous, and you know how I am already with the spontaneous podcasting. She said the very same thing I have been talking about before, right? And African men throughout Africa have multiple wives. And one of the reasons for that is because from the inception of man, the melanated man, from the inception of him, the Creator put certain distinctive traits inside of the first man. Do you know why I call this podcast Life Source equals Life Giver? Because what you men don't realize is that that is what you are. Now you're going to see the correlation. So we all know that the first original peoples on this earth is the melanated man. Me, I think they come from the dirt, because if you would look at the dirt, it's, the color of the dirt, right? It says in the Bible, from dust to dust. From dust we come, from dust we go. I think that Western society have done men such a disservice and a dishonor, and has been very, very disingenuous. The guest on this show, went on to talk about how women should treat African men. I am going to go a step further, and I have gone a step further. Now, what I'm about to say is very controversial. I don't mind. You take it how it resonates. In my belief, and from what I have seen and observed of my 38 years on this planet, it's my podcast. I can be any age I want. Leave me alone, please. I do not think that men were meant to be monogamous. The guest went on to explain to women in Africa, when your husband takes on another, you see, to you men over here, in Africa, there's a tradition. There's a tradition, and the tradition is a man is able to take on other wives or another wife, providing, but there are conditions, providing that he is financially able to do so. Excuse me. He wants to bring another woman into his household. Can he provide for her? Will he be able to send her to school? Will he be able to help her start a business? All the while keeping his first wife, and if they have children, at the same quality of living. And the reason that you see men in Africa, African men, able to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wives, is because he is financially able to do so. Now I can tell you something. I wouldn't mind being amongst a harem of women as long as I'm being taken care of. And I'm going to tell you something, and this is the problem with Western society. They have duped women. And you men into thinking that you should be with the same person for the rest of your life. But the Creator did not create us for that. Let's go back to the beginning. One of the reasons that, for this podcast, I'll call them black. One of the reasons that black men are so popular, why they are so wanted. No, not criminally, stop it. Sexually wanted. Is because of their virility. black men love sex. I'm going to repeat that. I said black men love sex. And because of the origin of man and the melanin, the Creator put into man that, you may call it lust, okay, but that fleshly desire. Do you know why? If the Creator did not put that passion, that lustful creation for man inside of man, this earth would not be populated the way it is now if it wasn't for men. You can just look at all of the male species and animals of this world, on this planet. Just look. They have a desire, it's an unnatural urge and to procreate, to get that seed from out of them. They cannot keep that sperm, that seed inside of them for too long. So much so that there are some male insects. They have the need to procreate so bad that they would give their very life for it. For instance, the praying mantis. Do you not know that the male knows that there is a chance that he's not going to survive this sexual encounter? He knows. But there is something driving that male mantis to procreate. Do you know why? Sir, do you know why? Because that is why you are here. That is why man was created. Listen to me. You were created to populate the earth. It is a drive like no other. Are they not going to teach you this in school? You see, I've been observing men all my life, and excuse me, you know, the Bible says not to idolize anyone, but as a little girl growing up, I've always idolized men because I look at their strength. They're so strong and they're so powerful, you know, and just the way they move about and they act, you know. I was watching it, you know. I was watching even while the male praying mantis had his member inside of the female. And you can see his sperm pumping out into her. She was eating him. She was literally devouring him. And I began to think, isn't that what women do? human women. Isn't that what we do? Because when you're between a woman's legs and you're inside of her, isn't that like a woman devouring you? Right? It's why you men feel so spent after we're finished with you. The black widow spider. That male, no, he probably won't survive that encounter. But that female is looking at that man for two things. That man is going to provide two things. He's going to provide a future and sustenance. Hence why she eats him. And make no mistake about it, men. There are female praying mantis and black widows out there. Oh yes. And I'm sure some of you men have run across them. And I don't mean eating you or cannibalizing you literally. But they do so in different ways, don't they? Yes, I know. The problem with Western society is that, and from my point of view, we should have incorporated that African tradition. Let me tell you something. The reason why there are so much divorce in America is because America, the society, have tricked women into thinking that if you find your husband cheating on you, you must divorce him. You just throw everything out of the window. Everything, just everything. He betrayed me. How? Ma'am? Did he leave you homeless? I mean, you find your husband cheating on you. You find your man, just let's say your man. You find your man cheating on you. You find your man went outside the marriage. Did he treat you any differently? Right? I'm going to talk to the women on that. But let me talk to you men. The problem is that you're cowards. You're cowards and you're liars. And they both are synonymous with each other. They both go along to each other. They're both married to each other because of your cowardice. You then have to lie to the women that you're with. You are ashamed. You are ashamed of what the Creator put inside of you. Do you not understand that if it wasn't for your virility, if it wasn't for the lust that was inside of you, this planet would be barren? Why are you not telling the women that you're going with? Listen, honey, I love you. I want us to be together. But I would like to know, because before you marry a woman, you're friends, right? You're friends, right? It's not an arranged marriage type of thing. You guys go out, you guys talk, you laugh and talk with one another. So why is it in that conversation it's not brought up? Hey, during the marriage, I would like to, take on not I would like to go outside of the marriage. I would like to have a mistress. How do you feel about that? Bring up certain things. What are you men doing? Do you not understand? It's because of your of you hiding what you are. You are actually trying to change, and you're actually trying to shape yourself into what that woman wants. You're trying to change your nature. You're trying to change who God created you to be, but how? Don't you understand that is why you're so unhappy, why you're so stressed, why you're so easy to get angry? A lot of you men out there are sexually deprived because of the oppressive laws, of the oppressive ways of this Western society. Do you not feel that something is wrong? I can tell you, I've never been married, but I can tell you one thing. I can tell you that after being with one man, from a woman's point of view, and I've never been with, like I said, I've never been in a marriage with a man, never been in a relationship long term with a man, but I could just imagine, and I'm not talking for all men now, but after the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, I'm just not gonna want that dick 3-4 times. I'm just not gonna come home. Do you know that during the pandemic, it was the hardest for women? Do you know during the pandemic, women began to hate their husbands, their boyfriends, because they had to be stuck in the house with them? And because the man is stuck in the house, guess what? Every time he sees that we don't have anything else to do, he can't work, he's not working. So what is he going to fill his time up with? Instead of watching porn, he has you, right? And I think that one of the things about sister wives, I think was trying to incorporate that whole village, that whole village system to America, but they're doing it the wrong way now. They're trying to, but hear me out. Living that type of polygamous life is not for every man. Why? One, not every man wants that. Two, not every man can afford that. And that brings me to my next topic. If you are a poor man, you have no right to cheat. I will repeat that. If you are poor, you have no right to cheat. Why? You cannot afford it. You cannot be in a relationship with a woman struggling to make ends meet and then go out there and take on another woman, because that woman is not going to be an asset. She's going to be a deficit. Because as a man, listen to me, as a man, when you go out there and you take on a woman, whether you sleep with her, every penny that you spend on that woman that is a loss. That is a loss to your family, to your finances that you cannot afford. Do you understand? And that is why the number one cause of divorce is finances, or along that line. Let me tell you one of the benefits of bringing on another woman into the marriage, the household. And listen to me, fellas. You would not believe how many women would be for this. Do you know why women are so angry with you? It's not because you cheat, you know. You men are so silly. No, sir. They get devastated and you break their hearts because you lied. And you lie because you're a coward. And I don't know which one is worse. I think being a coward is worse. Why don't you bring that up when you're dating these women? Before you guys get married, before you guys go into a relationship. If a woman, these women, they go for bad boys, right? Women are naturally selective. Women are naturally drawn and attracted to the most virile male. You would find that the man that most women want is a man that is attached. He either has a girlfriend, a woman, he's married with kids. Women want what other women have, and vice versa. When a woman sees a man with his children and with his wife and she is single, she automatically starts to ovulate. She automatically starts to... her juices starts flowing. She wants you. Especially if you're a good-looking man and you're fit and women are naturally drawn to that. she can't help it. So that brings me to my question. Why aren't you men more honest with the women? It's society, right? It's the music, it's other men, it's all a lie, you know? And I just want you for 1 second to just step outside of what you've been taught all your life. Just for the sake of this broadcast, just for the sake of it. I want you for this 1 second to just think of your mother and father. What if you were to find out tomorrow that you were adopted? What if you were to find out that your mother and your father were not really your mother and father? What if you were to find out that your real birth mother gave you up for adoption for whatever reason? I mean, how would you know that? How would you not know that, that is true? How do you know? So if you can put yourself in that frame of mind, if you can just step out of everything that you know and everything that you've been taught. What if you really started being honest? With the women in your life. I say women, the woman in your life, right? What if you did? You are very successful. Let me tell you something. As a man, right? Do you not know that every CEO of all these multi-million and multi-billion dollar companies, they all have mistresses? They all have why? Two things. They can afford it, and the wife knows about it. But guess what? Her life is comfortable, and she's not going to motherfucking place. You think... I think that one of the worst things that men do, and women do it too, right? We get advice from the same sex about the opposite sex. How? Because women get advice from other women about how to treat men, and men get advice from other men how to treat women. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just like, yeah, that's not going to work. That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you just go to the source? Do you know how open some women, and it's always some, right? There are women out there that are open to what you want and are as a man. But you're so coward because of what Western society have drilled in your head, or you gotta stay married, and if you go outside of marriage, then there's something wrong with you. Sir, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're going to find that when you're married, sometimes your wife is not going to want to have sex with you. After about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, she's not going to want it every day, twice a day. She's going to say, stop, leave me alone. It's just the way it is. What are you supposed to do? Society will tell the man that he has to suppress his desires, suppress it. You're a very successful man. You're a wonderful father. You're a wonderful husband. you are not getting enough sex. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to start to negatively impact your relationship. You're going to start treating your wife or the woman in your life, your significant other, you're going to start to treat her harshly. You're going to start getting irritated very, very easily. You're going to become overly sensitive. Why? Because you are trying to change your nature. It is natural for a man, listen to me, melanated or not. It is natural for you, sir, to want to have sex often. And you have to, and I think that one of the disservice that men are doing to their sons and their little boys is that they're not telling them the truth. You men are not talking to your boys, you're not talking to your sons. And so these boys are growing up and they're thinking that there's something wrong with them because they want to, what are you teaching them? You have to teach them, son, it's okay. It's normal. You're normal. It's natural for you to have this that you want to fuck everything. But you as a man, you have to teach him how to direct that energy and that virility into the right. Guide him. That's what you men are for. You came before. So you have a duty. You have an obligation to raise the next generation of young men. There's no reason for all of this rape out here. You men are not doing your job. You shouldn't be tied down to one woman. There are some men out there with very, 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 very high libidos. Just like there are some women. There are some women out there that her libido is much higher than her man. I'm going to talk to the women another time. So one of the reasons that I brought up the melanin is that melanin is a type of, it's in everything, right? It's in the dirt, it's in the universe. It's like a conduit for energy. So we're talking about the planet of Africa, right? There's no cold over there. It's just a hot ass planet, right? The sun. That's why back in the day the Africans used to worship the sun, right? And the original man have been on the planet for hundreds and thousands of years. It wasn't inception of 2,000 or 3,000. Man have been on this earth for hundreds and thousands of years. Hence why they used to worship the sun. Why? Wouldn't you worship the very thing that is your source of life, your source of energy? What do I mean? I know for me, I can speak as a melanated woman, dark skin. When I'm in the sun, it gives me energy. And I don't know what that is or whatever, but there's something about the sun. When I'm in the sun, I can move better. I don't know, it just fills me up, right? And not only that, when you're in the sun as a melanated person, it makes you, it makes you want to have sex more. And I don't know why that is. Hence the reason that Africa is so populated. It's not that it's not that they get up and be like, okay, let's have sex. No. It's nature. It's a natural instinct to do so because of the sun. The sun is the guide. It's like it's like a pull. It pulls us towards the opposite sex. A woman, she starts to ovulate more. Her juices flows more. The man, sorry, his dick is always standing up. Hence why in colder climates, men virility you guys don't too well with cold, you know. The birth rate goes down, and you're not very good in the cold. So it's all about being true to who you are, sir. You've been lying to yourself. I mean, if you've been living a lie, and one of the things that you men, this, you know what makes women so mad? Let me tell you. It's not that you lie, but it's the reason that you give for the lie. Well, honey, I didn't want to hurt you. Well, fuck me. So what do you think was going to happen? How do you think I'm going to feel when I do find out? And the funny thing about you, but it's just like, you just don't. We always find out, right? Women always find out. And that's why I don't understand. Why let it get to that point? I mean, if a woman is not going to want you for you, then next. Who are you? You are a very successful man with a very high libido. And let me tell you something, sir. The higher and I understand that's why you men are so eager and so desperate for power, for a better job. You're just so ambitious. You want that higher position. And it's only for one reason. Because you know that position, that status is going to open and it's going to give you access to more women and to certain caliber of women. And if I was a man, I would do that too. I would be in that same mind frame. But I would go a step further. And I would be honest. Whatever woman I'm dating and I want her in my life, and I want her and I want a relationship with her, I would let her know. However I have to, because we're going to be dating, we're going to be going out, we're going to be friends first before we get in a relationship, right? You have to let these women know. You let that woman know, listen, I would like to spend the rest of my life with you. How would you feel put it in her court. Let her. Give her the option. And that is the reason why women get so angry, because you did not give them an option. You didn't give them a choice. My God, man. You've really mucked up your lives, you know, as a man. You've really mucked it up. All you had to do was to be courageous enough to be honest. You didn't even have it in you to do that. Doesn't it ever occur to you what's going to happen if she finds out? Isn't that why you have to take all kind of detours and why you have to keep on lying? You see, when you tell one lie, you have to tell another. And after you tell one lie, and it's hard to really keep up with the lies because she's going to know all the lies. But you said, that's not what you said. But you told me. See, they don't forget. Women don't forget. And then she's going to start seeing the inconsistencies and then the arguments. Well, why? How did we reach here? Oh God, how did we reach here? How did we reach that? We always bickering and we always fighting and why? Just be honest. Give her the choice. How do you feel about me? How would you feel if? And you can bring up that subject however you feel comfortable in that situation. By this time, you've been dating her for a while and you know that this is someone you're comfortable with. You can see yourself with her for a good another 20, 30, 40 years. This is someone that you would like to be the mother of your children. But I think that some of you men are very selfish. You're selfish cowards. Because not only do you not give that woman a choice, after you get into the relationship with her and you know that you've clinched her, you know women to a point that, when she's in, she's all in. She marries you, she's having your children, she's all in. She's all in. And she's all in because she tells you every day how much she loves you. And that's where the betrayal comes in. Because after you know that you've got her just where you wanted her, just where you want her, that's when you start going outside the marriage. And then it devastates her because she knows, right? She knows because this is not the man who she thought that she married. And it isn't. She's right. You're not that man. And why aren't you that man, sir? Because you lied. You lied. You know the kind of man that you are. You know the kind of libido that you have, sir. You have to understand it's not what you want, it's what she wants. So if you're going out with a woman and, she's this and she's that, but she's not open to you in the future having another woman into the marriage, then that is not the woman for you. You should not marry a woman under false pretenses. Because, sir, listen to me. I'm not a man, but I have been observing you men for a long time. And I know you men. I know a little about you men. I'm still learning. because you men are so, you're simple, but you're complex at the same time, right? By the time that you're a teenage boy, you know the kind of libido that you have. There are some boys who patch through puberty, 14, 15, 16. He's not all that interested in having sex like that. But you, yes, you, sir. Ever since you was a teenage boy, you've always wanted to fuck everything. You want that woman, you want that girl, and it didn't just stop in you. It increased into your 20s, and this is who you are. Why would you get into a relationship with a woman who's thinking monogamously when you're thinking that it's the lies you've been telling? And you could have avoided all of this mess, all of this heartache, all of this pain that you've put your children through. All you had to do was to be honest. Because when a woman finds out that she doesn't have the monogamous man that she thought that she married, it devastates her. I can't even begin to put it into words. And although I was that woman, as long as I'm living comfortably and the children are okay, and as long as it was that, I wouldn't leave you. But I would start looking at you differently because you lied to me. You should have told me the kind of man you were while we were dating. You should have gave me the option whether I wanted to be with the kind of man that you are. You should have left it up to me, sir. You shouldn't have lied. It's the lies that you tell that hurts women the most. And it all boils down to your honesty. But let's go to chapter 2. What if you find a woman that is open to that? You see, let me tell you what I know about marriage. To me, marriage is two things. I think that Western society has really corrupted what marriage really is, right? And marriage is not only just lovey-dovey and romance. It's a contract. It's a contract to commitment. C&C, a contract to commitment. When I sign that piece of paper, I am contracting myself not only to you, honey, but to this marriage, this relationship. That means that I need you to be honest with me and to me for certain vital things. Right? And most importantly, one of those most important vital things is the kind of man that you are. I'm going to spend a very good portion. Women are going to spend, this woman, they're going to spend a very good portion of their lives with you. Why would you want to corrupt that? Why would you want to convolute that? You, you can get away with it for a while, but it's not the same. Do you know how free? Sir, do you know how free that you would be if the woman that you married knew that you were. You see, because during a marriage, and she knows the kind of man that she married, when you tell her, honey, you okay? I'm gonna make a detour. I'm gonna be late tonight. She's always gonna put two and two together. Okay, he must be all right. She's like, okay, honey, you want me to I'll leave your food in the oven. Or he might tell her, that's okay, honey. She might say, you want me to cook you something? He might say, no, honey, I'll pick up something on the way. I'm okay. Are you okay? How are you and the kids? Okay. Do you need anything? You have to keep that consistency. It's all been a lie, you know. The way this Western society, the way they have us thinking about each other, the opposite sex. I want you to know that just as much as a man needs a woman needs a man. She needs your covering. I want you to know that women don't want to be doing what they're doing. And that is working hard, being stressed out. We don't want to fucking do that. We don't want to be like that. We want you to take care of us. That is what we really want. What women really want. Women want to do what they want to do. Women want to do what gives them passion. Women want to be able to work at a job that they have a passion for, that they love. Not because they have to, but it's because they want to. And the Western government, the government, that fucking Uncle Sam. My uncle is a bad man. When the government forced, I'm going to say this, they forced the women out of their homes. Once they forced the women out of their home, because I'll tell you, men, something. A woman, a mother, is not going to stand by and watch her child or children starve. She just won't. If she has to go pick up bottles, pick up cans, clean toilets, clean shit off the street, she will do that to put food in her mouth, to put food in her children's mouth. A mother would go hungry and feed her child. She would prefer to go hungry. A mother would prefer to go without. See, and this is where it comes in. That there's a disconnect. Because you men don't understand what it means to be a woman, how it feels to be a woman, how it feels to have something growing inside of you. You think we want to take care of these children the way we do? We have no choice. It is our obligation to take care of this being that is growing inside of us. That is our responsibility. And whether women feel it or not, it's not the man's, it's yours. Because it is the woman that the Creator chose to bring new life. It is the woman that He chose as the vessel, not the man. He chose the man to give the woman that life, to be in that vessel. That's why I never understood why that there's this term, the American, we are pregnant. How? I haven't seen a man's belly gotten big. I mean, a biologically, I haven't seen him. You don't carry the child like me, sir. We're not pregnant. I am. You're not the one that experiences morning sickness. You're not the one that vomits. You're not the one that. Do you understand that the physical change that goes on inside a woman's body when she's having a child, when you, sir, you put that life, your seed, that seed, and it germinates inside of her? You have no idea, do you? Hence why the reason it's so easy for you to pack up and leave. And so when you pack up and leave, there's no connection. There's a disconnect there because you didn't carry the child. You don't understand. That is why I'm asking you, why you weren't honest in the first place. They call it infidelity. It's all a big scam, this marriage thing and the way this Western society looks upon it. It's all a scam. And infidelity is all a way for lawyers to get rich. Because God didn't intend for us to be this way with one another. Right? Sign on the dotted line. Marriage is more like a business, isn't it? There should be a commitment to that person. You see, when you look at the relationship as a commitment, not just to the relationship, but to that person, then you're willing to go through whatever. You're willing to go through tragedies. You're willing to go through financial ups and downs. You can go through that. You're willing because you're committed. You're all in. But most of the marriages that are out there and that's going through divorce court, most of you all are not in. You were never in. It's just that you have just one toe in the water. You are all liars. You were never committed. You never was really all for that woman, sir. Come on. No, you never were. You were? Yeah. So why was it so easy for you to leave? Why was it so easy for you to tell all those lies if you were, quote unquote, so fucking committed to her? You just been living a lie. So you just, you're not fooling anyone but yourself, Excuse me. As a woman, I'm brutally honest. Could you imagine if I was a man? In Africa, there are men that have 7, 8 wives and all of the women are happy. He takes care of all of them. If that they could live in all one house, or he'll give that woman a house, he'll give that woman a house, he'll give that wife a house, he'll give that wife a house. I, for one, do not want that much dick. I cannot be with one man. For me, it would get boring. But isn't that so, sir? Isn't the reason why you go outside of your marriage is because you want to spice up things a little bit? You got bored with the same thing, eating the same meal. I want to tell you something. Just the way you feel, women feel the same way. Do you think women are stupid? They think you're stupid. I'll tell you that. Yeah, women think that you're stupid. They think you're stupid because they think that you think that they're stupid. But I want you to know, women are very, very smart. Women are very, very wise. And because of the American system and the way it sets up, she's already setting you up. Oh, yes, she's already setting you up. Because if she divorces you, the system is in her favor. Oh, yes. So, the quote-unquote infidelity clause always could come in handy when she gets tired of you or bored of you. Oh, but if you had that conditions, you see, there are conditions to, if you find that woman that suits you, right? She's okay with you being who you are, going outside of marriage or whatever. She's okay with that, but there would be conditions, right? And a woman's condition would always be this and foremost, first and foremost. Her quality of life should never dip. If there's anything, it should go up. Stay the same or go up. Because if it cannot be that way, then you cannot afford to take on another, a support wife, a support. Hence the reason why so much men sleep with the nannies. Do you know why? I will tell the women why, but isn't it true, sir? Because she's there in the house with your wife and you're looking at this woman and she's taking care of your kids and that instinct, your nature, that this woman is taking good care of your children. So automatically you have this fondness for her. Your nature rises. Because of the love, because of the love and the care she is showing your seed. Tell it like it is. I'm so fucking tired of you men with your lies. Isn't that why you sleep with women that take care of your children? Because it's not just the child, right? You're looking at that child as your seed. That is your seed that she's taking care of. And it draws you to her. But the kind of woman that you need as a man like that, you have a high libido, you need a woman, you need a wife who is your best friend, who she's open to the kind of person that you are. She knows you. She's your best friend. She's your buddy. You can talk to her about anything. You can go to her. Do you know what that would do to a woman, to know that her husband is so open and she understands him? Hence why there are some men that are bisexual and the wives never leave them. Why? Why? Why do you think that is? Because she already knew. He told her. You were honest with her. And that's all a woman wants. Give her the option. When you don't do that, a woman feels like she's been duped. Well, she has been, right? She's been duped. You've put her in a cage. And no woman wants to feel like they're in a cage. You've suppressed her and you've oppressed her, right? Because now she can't leave the marriage. She's invested too much. She's invested children with you. She's invested in property and the house and the cars and the time. How can you give that back to her? You can't, and that's what's make it so devastating, right? All because you couldn't fucking be honest, you know? You couldn't be honest. If I had a man, if I had gotten married, if a man had come to me and had gotten married and he says, hey, listen, I really like spending time with you and I love you and I want you to spend the rest of my life with you. What do you think about in the future? It's going to be hard for me to stay with one woman, you know. What do you think about that? And he will make the conditions. A man would make sure that you're okay, that you and his children are okay. Hence why, when a man cheats, he likes to start buying you stuff and everything like that. And you're just like, why are you buying me this stuff? It's just his way of, he's guilty, so, but why are you guilty of having that kind of libido? Mm-hmm. It is what the Creator put inside of you. Did you give it to yourself? You know, as I look at men, right? I look at men and I marvel at their bodies, you know. The men are, you men are so strong and you're so powerful. That's what I look at, and I'm not the only one, right? I'm a female, but we look at you and we marvel at the way you are. And I like to watch men. Well, I like to watch women too, but that's another story. But I watch men because of their strength, because of their power, because of the way they are. And I mean, not all men, but, you know, but you understand what I'm saying, right? I like, when I'm on the train, I like to watch certain men. Certain men have that magnetism. It pulls you towards them, right? You see them on the train. I especially like to watch the blue collar men, the men that, you know, they do construction or they have on. And do you men know that if you were to ask women or the women in your life, what's their favorite body part on you? You know, it wouldn't be your penis. 9 out of 10 times it's not going to be your penis. I mean, I know that I know you think that we women have penis envy, and to an extent that we do. I know I do. But I absolutely would not give anything up not to be a woman. Being a woman, I cannot tell you. So I would not give it up for the world. It's the best thing in this world to be a woman, but I digress. But do you know it wouldn't be that? It wouldn't be a penis, sir. Do you know why women like to watch sports? Women like to watch sports because they like to see you in those tights. Yeah, they get turned on. I would guarantee that most women, the thing on a man that really gets their blood flowing and their juices flowing is their favorite part would be your gluteus maximus. That's right, that big muscle to the back, to the lower back of you. Oh yeah. And just the way your pants fit on you, your jeans, your trousers, I don't like men in tight clothes. I just like it. I like it to fit just right. And I'm not. Listen to me. I am not attracted, and most women aren't attracted to men that wear skinny jeans. Oh no. You understand skinny jeans? Why? No, we're not attracted to that. You know, when I'm in the gym working out, and I watch these men. I mostly am around black men, so I watch these brothers, and they're so strong, and their muscles are just bulging, and they're so agile, and and I get to thinking, right? Because sometimes we women, and we go to the gym, and some of us women, we work out, right? And we drink supplements and on all of that, not as much as men. But I began to wonder, right? I saw a video the other day, and I think it was an African man, and he was talking about what sperm does to a woman's body. He says that women have to be, very careful about the sperm that they let into their cavity, right? Because you start to incorporate that entity. Hence why he goes on to say that the sperm, right? Because I have thought about it too, and I've talked about it before in my previous episodes, right? And so now that someone else mentions it, it kind of confirms it, right? He said, hence why after a period of time, you start seeing that married people start to resemble each other. They start looking like brother and sister. Now we got to understand, right? And I want you women to, no, I'm not talking to the women. I'll talk to them another time. But this is the man's episode, right? Okay. Because I like I said, I think a lot, right? And I'm trying to figure men out. And not just men, but what's inside of them, right? And I know, and I'm thinking to myself, because the man went on to say that he said the sperm of the man, it has something to do with the back of the brain of the woman, and it incorporates. I hope I find the video again. I think that I saved it. I hope I did. But it's something that I've always been thinking about, and I was just like, what is the life? What is the man's life force? He's the life giver, but what is his source? It's his sperm. It's your sperm. It is your sperm. And if your sperm, that source, that life source, if that life source has the power to change a woman's features, because the woman doesn't look like the man, because he's giving and she's receiving, it is her, it's her features that starts to change, right? Like the man. Hence why couples that have stayed together for so long, it not only becomes something physical, it's something spiritual also, something that you can't even put your hands on. It's very deep. That is why I never understand why this Western society, why they make men and women think that just because you divorce someone that you're no longer bonded to them, you will. Listen. Oh, Father. Sir, let me tell you something. You will always be bonded to that mother of your children. I don't care how many women you've had since her. It's a spiritual thing. It's something that cannot be broken. Now you might go on, oh, she's a bitch. Sir, I'm not. Let's take the emotional aspect out of it. Just listen to what I'm telling you. The mother of your child, you will always be bonded to her spiritually. Hence why she gets so emotional, irrational. Some of you might say irrationally so, but after you guys have broken up, because that spirit is still inside of her. You have implanted your seed inside of her. You have impregnated her with your germ. That is why it's so, and the guest went on to explain, and that is why it's so important for women to be careful with the man that she chooses to reproduce with. I look at some men I look at some videos and I see some men and they treat their bodies so good. They eat good, they work out, and they're intelligent. And they're so fucking strong. You see, you would see them on television, on the videos, right, on YouTube. They would, these are some men that they tell you about the proteins that they're using and what they eat in a day, and I just look and I started thinking. I said, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. So you mean to tell me that, because they say that whatever you eat and whatever you ingest, it determines the kind of output that you produce. And I began thinking and I began wondering. There was a video I saw of a woman, and she showed the way she was to how she is now. And, she was out of shape and everything. And she was saying that the supplement that she used and everything, it was a protein supplement. And she was, she was talking, and she was saying how much time she was using it a day. Sometimes you have to load up on it in the beginning, and then it tapers off. And then I began to wonder, and I started looking at it. And this is the way I think, right? And I was just like, wait a minute. Could you imagine digesting the sperm of a man? It has nutritional value, right? No, listen to me. No. This is nothing sexual. When I look at men sometimes, the way they are in the videos and stuff, and I see how beautiful they are, and they show you what they eat throughout the day, and they show you their workout exercise, and I was just like, I want that. I don't want to have sex with them, but I was like, how can I embody that man? How can I get some of that life force within me? Because let's just think about it, right? Let's just think about it. Would there be any nutritional value to a man's sperm? I'm thinking that there is. Because what is sperm? Because we have to look at it first, right? What is sperm? So your sperm is everything you are. Everything you are, everything you eat. Every little sperm is a little mini micro you. So what if women were to start ingesting that and just put like a little bit of protein powder with that? Or maybe we could have it in an egg and take it as a shot. I'm just way out there. What would that do to us? I'm not talking about a man who pollutes his body with drugs or alcohol. No. That's not. No. I'm talking about the man that works out regularly and treats his body good, and he's just full of vitality. And what if we were to mix his sperm with creatine, a protein powder, an egg yolk, and we take it as a shot? I don't think, how can we get that in? How can we get that without the sex, of course? I mean, yeah. I want you to know that, especially you heterosexual men out there, right? There is a war against you. I understand. But I want you to know how valuable you are. Oh, you are so valuable to us, women. You have no idea. We need you. Why? Because as women, we were meant to be under your covering. Do you understand that? I want you to imagine that. Men, I want you to imagine, what's the biggest bird that what kind of bird that you like? You want a condor, or an eagle, or I want you to imagine yourself as a fierce bird, like a beautiful fierce bird. And I want you to just imagine that under your wing are women and children. Do you understand it? And whenever there's a storm or whenever anything bad comes your way, you're able to shield us from it by closing your wings around us, your arms around us. I say heterosexual men, but I mean all men, even homosexual men. They even themselves understand that they have to be a covering. They're naturally, it is instinctive, even of homosexual, bisexual, I don't care. It's instinctive of men to want to cover, to want to protect the female. We are the weaker sex. Listen to me, sir. I'm not one of those women that has been duped by society that thinks that we don't need you. Even lesbians need you. We may like women, but we're not stupid. We understand the laws of nature. We do. So never feel that you're not wanted. Never feel that you're not loved. You are so valuable to us women, to the earth, because you bring so much. You protect the planet. And I'm not talking about all of that climate change. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way that you show love to the animals, the way that you take care of the weaker beings on this planet, the women, the children, the elderly, the disabled. You're so strong, the structures that you've built and the innovation that you men think of. And I'm thinking to myself, all of that is in your sperm. All of that is in there. Why can't we have some of that? And why? That should be available to us. I can tell you right now, if I had a man like that, I would be ingesting his. I'm thinking it has to have some type of nutrient. That's your life force, right? But then again, I'm just thinking, I don't know. And it tastes so, women, so disgusting or nasty. No, I do not know how it is. I'm just going off of what other women have said. I've seen videos and stuff like that. Do you understand? Isn't that why? Because it's so potent. And it's so potent and it tastes so, it's not supposed to taste good, right? But I'm just wondering, what would a man's sperm, that a man that is at the height of his virility, which would be in his 20s and his 30s, and just, what would that do to a woman's body, right? Is there any scientific? I think there needs to be some type of science done, and on the effects of a woman in ingesting, because there has to be maybe a carrier for that sperm to be able to dissolve into the woman's, because you know how they say that when you ingest turmeric, it has to go with black pepper and maybe because with maybe some type of coconut oil or whatever, because it would be easily assimilated into your body part. So what about the man's sperm? Because if a man's sperm could make, if a man's sperm, because I'm thinking now, right, if that man's sperm is what is needed for to bring another being into this world, then there's something about that man's sperm. what is it really, right? Because we're not like men. We women ovulate once a month. We just have an egg and then it passes out when we bleed. But men have millions of sperms in that fluid. He have millions and millions of sperm. Isn't creation wonderful? That is. I don't know. I'm just out there. I like to go out there, way, way out, but yeah, I just wanted to spend some time with you men. And I just wanted to, I wanted to implore of you not to change who you are. You like to have sex because you're supposed to. Western society have long made little boys feel dirty for feeling that way. They have to hide. When they become 14, 15, they have to get that. It builds up inside of them and they have to shoot out, otherwise they can get sick. And then you have churches telling little boys or young men, can't say little boys, young men. That's when it really starts, right? 15, 16, that they can't masturbate. So how is he supposed to get a release? But you, as an older man, you as their father, you've also failed, right? Because you've also been duped and you've also been scammed into the thinking that this seed that you have inside of you is not supposed. If it's not being used to create and to procreate with women and to bring life into this world, hence the word life giver, life source, if it's not being used for that, it needs to come out. Oh God. Am I shouting at you? I'm sorry, but you men make me so angry, you know. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're not what women say you are. You're not that stupid, are you? You don't need to rape any woman. You don't need to. There's so many women out there. Do you know how many women out there want to have sex right now? But it's not for you to go and force yourself on them. It is for you to rise to their nature. What do I mean? Women are different from men. And you would never have to be unsatisfied or have so much pent up tension and be so angry because of the lack of sex that you're having. If only you would know how to treat women. That's all you have to do. You have to treat women nicely, kindly. And you men, you in society, they tell you have to treat women badly. So you have this one and you have this one and you have this one and you have to try to pit one of them against each other. But why do you have to do that, sir? If the women already knows the kind of man that you are, And if she doesn't want it, then you move on. You don't lie to her. Because once you're able to put your cards on the table, and once you're able to be honest with that, you don't have to worry. It's not a burden on your mind, so you don't have to try to think of ways to circumvent the situation, to go around the bush and go around, and you have to take this path of just be courageous. Be a man, and you stand. You stand firm and be like, this is who I am. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but I have a high libido, and I'm never going to let you and the children go without. What do you say? And there's that would be the conditions, or there would be conditions. But it's all about talking, right? You would hear what she has to say, and then you guys come to some type of agreement, and 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road, you guys are together. And let me tell you something, sir. Let me tell you something. The woman that is your friend, that becomes your wife, is a friend for life. Do you hear me? The woman that is your friend, your best friend, your good friend, that friend becomes your wife. Boy, sir, yeah, you got a friend for fucking life. All right, okay, love you. Take